Hello, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm your host, and I'm here today to talk about my team I'm building for Space Station Zero. This is actually my second recording. I did the whole first one, and I had forgotten to, well, not forgotten to, I didn't notice that I had the mute on my microphone, so I went to go edit the video and found that the whole thing was no sound, and that was last week, and then I was on vacation, so here we are. So anyway, just getting into Hero Forge here. Hero Forge is where I'm going to be, where I have planned out the miniatures I'm going to be using for the thing. Now, I'm not sponsoring Hero Forge here. I'm not getting any kickback from Hero Forge. This is just, it's a wonderful tool. If you've never used it, I would highly recommend it. You kind of start off in here, and you start building a thing. So you start off with the species, so you can do like lion, but you can also do like different, bat folk, and so there's a male bat folk and a female bat folk, and elves and cat folk and lion folk and half elves and all kinds of things. There's just so many on here. You just sort of use it as your template starting point, and then you build up from there. So I thought about doing the whole build from start to finish on Hero Forge, but you know what, there was just too much fine tuning, and even when I went back and looked at it again before I started the video that didn't actually start, I actually made a few changes. I suddenly had some realizations on some things, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to tweak this, tweak that. So there was just, again, some more fine tuning. So it really is like a nitpicky process, and I didn't want to go through all that. I don't think that's the best viewing for this channel. So if you disagree, then I could and I'll keep that in mind for the future, and just let me know if there is something you would like to see. Now, I just want to give a shout out to viewer Chris Donovan, who had mentioned that he'd like to know the backstory behind these things, because I talked about them being parasites. So there's like a sentient parasite that is in control of these meat bags, and the meat bags are, the parasites are just controlling them as scientists. And so, were they criminals? Were they volunteers? Were the thing? And I sort of thought, the idea that I have behind this, as I'm talking about this, so I'm just going to heroes. These are where I've built my stuff. So I'm coming back to that story, but just I'm going to tell the story as I'm going through this. So BB is like, I'm building a Blood Bowl team, but here we have, like, I'm not very creative with the names yet. I haven't thought of names. We're just nerd 1 through 6. So I thought of the team as being like, I think the parasites are opportunistic, and they just take something if they see it, right? It's just like, I guess it's like a person who's not vegan or vegetarian. And, when we eat, we don't necessarily think too much about what we're eating. We don't think about the life that was given for us to survive. So I think it's the same way here, that they needed this, so they took it. And maybe it was something that attacked them first, or, maybe they just saw it as a good opportunity. Maybe the thing did volunteer, I don't think they really put too much thought into it. So this is the first one I came up with. This is the leader, and the leader, as you'll recall, has a shield drone and a sidearm. So the sidearm here, you can see here, he's got like a really fancy one compared to some of the others, because he is the leader after all, and he's got like a cool lab coat and everything. And give him so that went with that classic alien look. You can't really see it because of the high collar on his thing here covering most of his face, but got that typical alien look. He's got the hood and stuff, and the pointing fingers, because he's giving a command, and 2 fingers, because he's cool. Maybe it's a special signal or something, but honestly, for me, a lot of it was is just 1 finger is just that much more delicate to print and to have not break when you're playing with it. So I thought 2 fingers a little more stable when they're together like that. So I thought, let's go with that. I heard my cat meowing. And anyway, so I sort of give you a little sneak peek there. You look on the back, and that is the parasite right there. So this is the parasite on the back of the host. So this is, like I said, this is just like a vehicle, a means to an end for the true scientist. This is the parasite scientist right here. And what I liked about this is it allowed me to choose different races for the parasites, and but have this as a joining theme, that they all are joined by this one common thing here, which is this parasite on their back. So this is, like I said, again, this is the leader. Now, I don't have a shield drone, and I didn't see anything in Hero Forge here that could really sort of be a shield drone. To me, a shield drone is a drone. It's floating above it, and I do have some drone type models, so I will just substitute one of those and have it with him for the purposes of just representing that during the game. So you'll see that when we get to it. But that is the leader, and let's go on to the next one. So we go to heroes, scroll down, we'll look at Nerd 2. Nerd 2 is the soldier. So the soldier, he's one of the ones I really kind of played around with more after the fact, because I want to try and do some things for him, like really make him look more aggressive. So he's larger, he's burlier than the other ones. I think I was probably like an orc starting type here. But look at his gear. He has a sidearm, armor jacket, and melee weapons. So armor, you can see he's got some plating going on here that can count as his armor. Nice helmet here to protect his eyes and face, mostly, not his jaw. But his sidearm, more sort of human military kind of looking. A little bit of padding there, so he looks like he's a bruiser. But what I really sort of was thinking about too is just how I want to deal with his weapon, because what he has here is like a blunt weapon with like a catching end here, so he can disarm, he can catch, and he can also subdue. Because being again, this isn't his body, and need be, because this is the body, this is what matters right back here, and if need be, he wants to do as little damage to an attacker as possible. Stunning, disarming, knocking out if possible, but try not to do too much permanent damage, that if need be, if this dead body gets too damaged, he can then move across to the other. So that's what I went with. And I also sort of had to play around with the two, because I wanted to make sure the pose looks suitably aggressive and tough for the soldier here, because he is the tough one of the crew. He is the one who protects the others. That is his role. And then we have the chief scientist, chief of science. So here, so for this one, it's an alligator folk start, and so he is a get the notes here. His area of focus is xenobiology, and as all scientists, he has armor tuning, so he can help anybody who is wearing armor, such as the soldier there. So with xenobiology, he's studying other races, other life forms and things, which I think is really sort of suited well to there being parasites. They want to sort of know which ones are the best, which are most compatible, what pros, cons, advantages, disadvantages each of them have. So here he is doing his xenobiological thing. Look at two life form things he's never seen before: a human brain and a fish. So he's just sort of examining, he's curious. And I thought this was a kind of a cool thing too, like the prehensile tail here holding a flask in the bottom. So he has a sidearm, which is holstered here. And then he's got like some sort of flask or something here. This isn't like, coffee or anything I would picture. It's more like, liquid nitrogen or something. And there's something to, hold and store samples and things, maybe some test tubes and stuff in there, being protected by like a flask. And as I said, everybody's going to have the same thing here with the parasite on the back. So that is the chief of science. Oh, and he also has, as part of his gear, he has a chem protection suit. So the chem protection suit acts as armor as well, so that's going to be helpful to him, but also gives him advantages for chemical attacks and gas and stuff like that. And which also, like, it was fun to put a gas mask onto a crocodile snout. I thought that was kind of a neat thing there. So that is the chief of science. Let's look on to now what's left is just the regular run-of-the-mill science, the basic crew members. So here is Nerd 4. So this is the guy who gave up his sidearm to the soldier. So I started off here, like you can see when I was looking at the original, this is like Batfolk. So this is a Batfolk guy, and I gave him some goggles and some headphones and things. I removed the wings and the arms and such, so just made him more humanoid, but just with that sort of weird sort of face, just gives him a nice alien look. Again, everybody so far is different races, just to show that they've just been, you know, opportunity. The opportunity has presented itself to take this particular one, so they took it. And so here he is. So this guy, because he gave up his sidearm, he does have a hyper scanner. The hyper scanner helps to give him extra things for detection and such. So this is the hyper scanner in his hand here, and he's got some tools on the side because all the scientists have the ability to do that armor tuning and stuff, and they do whatever science work. So he's got that there. He's a bit of science, a bit of engineer, and just a little pouch there. Maybe he's got some sweets or something in there. And of course, that's him. That's the real one right back there. When painting, I might look to do each of these a little bit differently, some different colorations and things, just to make them distinct, so that not everybody looks exactly the same. Right. So I kind of like this one. You know, there's something about the face there, with the goggles and the headphones and the big ears and stuff. This one kind of really appealed to me. That was kind of cool. All right, and then go on to Nerd 5. Nerd 5, yeah, so this one, as you can tell, it's like from an insectoid race. So insect folk, I think, would be the thing. So it doesn't have a hyper scanner, but he does have a smaller scanner here, maybe a small Game Boy or something. But yeah, he's, you know, just tried to, you know, take the insect and make it more humanoid by giving it some clothing and such. Again, so the clothing tends to be standard issue, so they have a lot of similar clothing. They have the similar tool belt. He's got a sidearm, but I thought, you know, with this one, I would go with a sidearm that was more representative of the race that it came from, right? So an insectoid crew member, or insectoid host, if you will, who came with this insectoid sidearm. So this gun here, yeah, it's just got the same stats as every other gun, but just looks a little bit different because it came from a different source, right? And then the parasite. So this is regular scientist number 2, and then we go on to the last one. So this is the last of the crew. And I thought, you know what? I've done 5 different guys, 5 different races. Who's to say they couldn't come from the same race? So I took the same race again as the captain. So going back to number 1. And this is the last scientist here. So same race as the captain, give him those science goggles, the headphones that the bat one was wearing, the tools. He's got a scanner like the others. So again, just gives that sort of cohesive feel. That they have some, you know, a lot of the gear you're going to see repeated. You know, scanners, goggles, headphones. The uniforms the same, tool belts are the same for all the basic scientists. He's got I think he has a different kind of gun than the others, but that's okay. You know, again, they're not really about the combat. They just kind of take things where they can get it. But science is another thing. But he's also got, I like the pose here, where he's just looking like he's in some kind of dangerous situation here, and you know, this isn't what he's excited by. He's not like the soldier one. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to have to deal with scary things. He just wants to explore and detect and learn and just do science stuff. You know, that's his thing. That's his jam. This is Space Station Zero is going to be cool for that. There's also going to be a lot of scary things happening, I'm sure. And he's back. So that is it. That is the team. And so what I plan to do today is, let's see, it's February 13th. Oh, it's only February, yeah, it's February 13th because this is 12:01. I was thinking, is it already? Yeah, I started this on Wednesday, the 12th, and now it's the 13th because it's just gone past midnight. So I hope I can get this printed off in the near future. And if I can do that, then, you know, once I get it printed up, then I'll decide how I'm going to do with the painting. If you want me to do videos on how I paint them all, or just show you like some broad strokes of here I'm doing this and this and this, or show you after I'm done, you know, I would appreciate some feedback on this. Like, what do you want to see as the audience? Do you want to see like a full-on start to finish painting, or now when you say start to finish painting, I am very quick. I could probably have this whole team done in like a few hours, So, and I paint well too. So if that's something you'd like to see, then let me know. And again, if you have any ideas for names for these people or parasites, because the parasites are the things at the back. So what do you think? I mean, look at that mouth. What kind of language do you think that would speak? What kind of syllables could it make with that? Nothing like a puh sound, that's for sure. No lips. So yeah, have to maybe consider that. That's going to be a fun thought there. But remember, what you see in the front here, just the meat bag. That's just the vehicle to propel the scientist in the back. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that. I know I had a lot of fun making these. I'm really looking forward to playing. Just got to get to the point where I can actually, like I said, print them and then paint them. But once I've printed them, painting them will be the easy part, and then I can get started. That's going to be fun. All right, so let me know what you think in the comment section below. While you're down there, remember to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm your host, Craig Thompson Wood, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.